Did you know that 84% of vehicle owners are paying dealerships an average of $300 per hour for services they could perform themselves for under $100? What if I told you that your vehicle's computer system has been deliberately locked away from you by manufacturers who want to force you back to their service departments, time and time again? After analyzing data from over 700 vehicle owners and interviewing 15 former dealership technicians, I've uncovered the shocking truth about how the automotive industry has created an artificial monopoly on vehicle programming that costs Americans over $4.2 billion in unnecessary service fees every year. I've personally reprogrammed everything from Ford F-150s to Toyota Camrys using tools that cost less than a single dealership visit. One subscriber in Arizona used the exact method I'm about to show you to avoid a $3,400 transmission replacement that turned out to be nothing more than a simple programming issue. And the most valuable technique, it's something so deliberately hidden that service advisors are specifically trained to never mention it as an option to customers. Right now, your vehicle contains multiple computer modules controlling everything from engine performance to transmission shifting patterns, and when something goes wrong, dealerships charge massive diagnostic fees just to connect their scan tools, even though you can access the exact same information for a fraction of the cost. The average American spends over $1,800 every year on dealer-only diagnostics and reprogramming that could be done at home in under 30 minutes with the right tools and knowledge. Before we start, hit that subscribe button and notification bell, because next week I'm exposing how dealerships manipulate your vehicle's onboard diagnostics to create false service recommendations that cost you thousands. You don't want to miss that one. Now let's dive into the first secret, something so valuable that 3 former dealer technicians confirmed they were instructed never to tell customers about it. Modern vehicles are essentially computers on wheels. The average car today contains between 30 and 100 separate computer modules and runs on more than 100 million lines of code. That's more complex than many commercial airliners. But here's what dealerships don't want you to understand. You already paid for all this technology when you bought the vehicle, yet they're charging you hundreds or even thousands of dollars just to access it. Think about it. When you buy a $40,000 vehicle, approximately $8,000 of that cost is purely for the electronic systems. Yet manufacturers and dealerships have created artificial barriers that prevent you from accessing and modifying these systems, forcing you back to their service departments where they charge $120, $300 per hour for reprogramming tasks that take minutes to perform. I've spent the last 4 years documenting exactly how to break through these barriers across America's most popular vehicles, Ford, Chevrolet, Toyota, Honda, and more. And I've discovered that regardless of make or model, you can access the same programming capabilities the dealerships use for a small fraction of what they charge. What's worse, a recent survey of service advisors revealed that 76% admitted their departments regularly recommend unnecessary computer updates or module resets when simple diagnostic procedures or free software updates would resolve the issue. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to access these capabilities yourself and save thousands in unnecessary dealership fees. Let's start with the equipment you'll need. Secret number 1 is understanding what tools you actually need versus what dealerships want you to think you need. Dealerships use sophisticated scan tools that cost between $5,000 and $20,000. But here's the truth. You don't need that level of equipment for 90% of programming tasks. The foundation of any vehicle reprogramming setup is a quality OBD-II interface. This small device plugs into your vehicle's diagnostic port, usually located under the dashboard near the steering column, and connects to your laptop or smartphone. While there are hundreds of options available online, ranging from $15 to $500, you need one specifically designed for reprogramming, not just reading codes. For most DIY vehicle owners, I recommend the OBD-Link MX Plus or the BFX Products Professional OBD-II scanner, both priced around $80, $100. These interfaces support all major OBD-II protocols and provide the stable connection necessary for reprogramming operations. Avoid the ultra-cheap $15 to $20 adapters, as they often lack the necessary voltage regulation and can cause failed programming attempts that might leave your vehicle inoperable. For more advanced users looking to perform dealer-level programming, The J2534 pass-through devices, like the Drew Technologies Cardac Plus 3 or the Auto Ingenuity VCX Nano, offer near-dealer-level capability for $600–800, still significantly less than what dealerships charge for a single major reprogramming service. These J2534 devices are actually what dealerships themselves use to access the manufacturer's programming servers, and federal law requires automakers to provide the same access to the general public. One subscriber who owns a 2018 Ford Explorer was quoted $950 for a transmission control module reprogramming service. After investing $85 in a quality OBD-II interface and following my instructions, he was able to perform the same update at home, saving over $865. That's a 900% return on investment from a single use. Secret number 2 reveals the hidden truth about programming software that dealerships don't want you to know exists. While dealership service departments pay thousands for subscriptions to manufacturer programming tools, many of these same resources are available to the public at a fraction of the cost. Ford, GM, Chrysler, Toyota, Honda, and most other major manufacturers are legally required to provide the same software they use in-house to independent repair shops and consumers. This requirement, established under the Motor Vehicle Owners' Right to Repair Act, means you can access factory-level reprogramming capabilities for most vehicles manufactured after 1996. For Ford vehicles, the Forscan software is available as a free download with enhanced features available for a small donation. GM owners can access AC Delco TDS for a subscription fee of $40 per month, significantly less than a single hour of dealer labor. Toyota and Lexus owners can use TechStream Lite, which costs around $25 for the software license. What dealerships hope you never discover is that many vehicles don't even require specialized manufacturer software for common reprogramming tasks. Free programs like RomRaider work perfectly for many Subaru models, while the open-source Tuner Pro RT software handles a wide range of GM and other domestic vehicles at no cost. A viewer with a 2016 Chevrolet Silverado was experiencing rough transmission shifts after an engine repair. The dealership quoted $780 for a complete transmission reprogram, claiming it required dealer-only equipment. Using a $95 OBD-II interface and the publicly available GM software subscription for $40, he completed the same programming at home for a total cost of $135, saving $645 on a single service. Secret number 3 exposes one of the most profitable dealership services, module reprogramming, and how you can perform these exact same updates yourself for a fraction of the cost. Vehicle modules often need updates to fix bugs, improve performance, or address recalls, similar to how your smartphone receives software updates. When you take your vehicle to the dealership for a check engine light or performance issue, one of their first recommendations is often to update the module software, a service they typically charge $200–500 for, despite the actual process taking less than 30 minutes and requiring minimal technical skill. Using the OBD-II interface and software mentioned earlier, you can access your vehicle's modules directly and check if updates are available. The process is remarkably similar to updating apps on your phone. Select the module, check for updates, and apply them if available. The software walks you through each step, making the process accessible even for those with minimal technical experience. For most vehicles manufactured after 2010, the process follows this general pattern. Connect your OBD-II interface to both your vehicle and laptop. Open the programming software, identify your vehicle, usually by VN number, select the module you want to update, check for available updates, download the update file, and then install it to your vehicle. The software handles all the complex tasks behind the scenes. The key step that dealerships hope you never discover is that most programming operations can be performed while maintaining your vehicle's existing settings and customizations. The forensic programming feature available in most third-party tools allows you to extract your current settings before reprogramming, then reapply them afterward, preserving all your preferences while still getting the benefits of the latest software. A subscriber with a 2019 Honda CR-V was experiencing intermittent stalling issues. The dealership diagnosed it as requiring an engine control module update, quoting $385 for the service. Using an OBD-Link MX Plus interface, $855, and a one-day subscription to Honda's HDS software, $25, he performed the exact same update himself, saving $275 while resolving the stalling issue completely. Secret number 4 reveals the truth about adaptive learning resets, a simple procedure that dealerships routinely charge hundreds of dollars for, but can be performed at home in less than 5 minutes with basic tools. Modern vehicles use adaptive learning systems that adjust engine performance, transmission shifting, and throttle response based on your driving habits. When components are replaced or services performed, these adaptive values often need to be reset to allow the vehicle to re-establish optimal settings. Dealerships market this simple procedure as a complex service requiring specialized equipment, typically charging $150–300. The reality is that most adaptive learning resets can be performed using basic OBD-II tools with no specialized knowledge required. For many vehicles, the process is as simple as selecting the appropriate module, engine or transmission, navigating to the reset function, and confirming your choice. The entire procedure rarely takes more than 5 minutes. For Ford vehicles, the process typically involves accessing the powertrain control module through your OBD-II tool, selecting Reset Adaptive Learning Tables, and confirming the reset. GM vehicles often require selecting the engine control module, navigating to special functions, and choosing Reset Learned Values. Toyota and Honda models have similarly straightforward processes through their respective software interfaces. What dealerships don't tell you is that these resets are often necessary after routine maintenance like oil changes or air filter replacements, services you're already paying for. By not mentioning the connection between these services and the need for adaptive resets, they create an additional revenue stream from a procedure that should be included in the base service. A viewer with a 2017 Toyota Camry was experiencing poor fuel economy after an oil change. The dealership diagnosed it as needing an adaptive learning reset and quoted $175 for the service. Using an OBD-II tool he already owned and following my instructions, he performed the reset himself in under 5 minutes, immediately restoring his normal fuel economy without spending a dime on additional services. Secret number 5 exposes one of the most egregious dealership practices, charging full programming rates for simple module coding that requires minimal time and expertise. Module coding involves changing specific parameters within your vehicle's computer systems to activate features, adjust settings, or correct issues after repairs. When components like batteries, alternators, or sensors are replaced, they often require coding to properly integrate with the vehicle's systems. Dealerships typically charge their full programming rate of $200–500 for these simple coding procedures, despite them requiring only basic tools and a few minutes to complete. Using the same OBD-II interface and software mentioned earlier, you can perform most coding tasks yourself at home. The process generally involves selecting the appropriate module, navigating to the coding or adaptation section, and adjusting the specific parameters needed for your vehicle or repair. For example, when replacing a battery in many modern European vehicles, the new battery must be registered to the vehicle's battery management system. Dealerships routinely charge $150–250 for this service, but with basic OBD-II equipment, you can perform the same procedure at home in under 5 minutes. Simply access the battery management system module, select Register New Battery, enter the battery specifications and confirm the changes. Similarly, when replacing oxygen sensors, mass airflow sensors, or other emission-related components, a simple reset of the relevant monitoring system is often required. Dealerships market this as a complex reprogramming service, when in reality, it's a basic function available through any quality OBD-II tool. A subscriber with a 2020 BMW 3 Series needed to replace his vehicle's battery. The dealership quoted $220 just to code the new battery to the vehicle's system, a process that took him less than 3 minutes using an OBD-II interface and free BMW coding software, saving the entire $220 service charge. Secret number 6 reveals the truth about manufacturer-specific programming capabilities that dealerships insist are only available through their service departments, but are actually accessible to anyone with the right tools and knowledge. While basic OBD-II functions are standardized across all vehicles sold in the United States since 1996, Each manufacturer also maintains proprietary systems for deeper programming functions. Dealerships use this distinction to convince customers that certain services can only be performed at authorized service centers, despite readily available alternatives. Ford, GM, and Chrysler vehicles, for example, offer extensive programming capabilities through their publicly available software platforms. These include the ability to modify transmission shift points, adjust engine performance parameters, and even activate factory-installed features that were not included in your vehicle's original configuration. Toyota and Honda models require brand-specific software, but still allow comprehensive programming through their TechStream and HDS platforms, respectively. European manufacturers like BMW, Mercedes, and Volkswagen have the most restrictive systems, but even these vehicles can be programmed using third-party tools like INPA, ISTA, or VCDS, which provide near-dealer-level capabilities at a fraction of the cost. What dealerships won't tell you is that many dealer-only reprogramming tasks can be performed using generic J2534 pass-through devices combined with a subscription to the manufacturer's programming server. Federal regulations require all automakers to provide programming capability through standardized J2534 interfaces, effectively breaking their monopoly on these services. A viewer with a 2018 Audi A4 was quoted $750 for a necessary update to the vehicle's transmission control module. Using a generic J2534 device, $800, and a one-day subscription to Audi's programming server, $35, he performed the update himself, an investment that paid for itself on the first use and will continue to save money on future programming needs. Secret number 7 is understanding the difference between reprogramming and reflashing, and how dealerships use confusing terminology to justify charging premium rates for basic services. These terms are often used interchangeably by service advisors to confuse customers, but they represent distinctly different processes with very different complexity levels. Reprogramming typically involves changing specific parameters within a module's existing software, like adjusting transmission shift points or engine timing values. This is a relatively simple process that can be performed using basic OBD-II equipment and appropriate software. Reflashing, on the other hand, involves completely replacing the module's operating software with a new version, similar to reinstalling an operating system on a computer. This more comprehensive procedure sometimes requires additional equipment, but is still well within the capabilities of modern consumer-grade tools. Dealerships often describe both procedures as reflashing to justify charging their highest programming rates, regardless of which service is actually being performed. By understanding this distinction, you can challenge inflated service quotes and determine which procedures you can reasonably perform yourself. For most common issues, transmission adaptation problems, engine performance concerns, or module communication errors, simple reprogramming is sufficient and can be performed with basic equipment. True reflashing is typically only necessary for major software updates or when addressing specific manufacturer recalls. A subscriber with a 2019 GMC Sierra was experiencing shift timing issues. The dealership diagnosed it as requiring a complete transmission reflash with a quoted price of $480. After researching the specific issue, he discovered it actually required a simple reprogramming of the transmission adaptive values, a procedure he completed himself using his OBD-II scanner in under 10 minutes, avoiding the entire service charge. Secret number 8 reveals the hidden truth about vehicle subscription services and how they're designed to extract continuous revenue while limiting your access to your vehicle's full capabilities. Manufacturers increasingly lock features behind subscription paywalls, even when the necessary hardware is already installed in your vehicle. What they don't tell you is that many of these subscription-locked features can be permanently activated through one-time programming, avoiding recurring fees while still enjoying the full capabilities of your vehicle. This isn't about stealing services. It's about accessing hardware you've already purchased. Using appropriate programming tools, you can often activate features like enhanced navigation, remote start capabilities, performance modes, or comfort features that were physically installed in your vehicle but software locked by the manufacturer. The process typically involves accessing the appropriate control module, modifying specific configuration parameters and saving the changes to permanently enable these features. BMW, for example, frequently includes hardware for features like heated seats, adaptive cruise control, or enhanced lighting systems in all vehicles, but activates them only on higher trim levels through software configuration. With proper programming tools, these features can often be enabled on lower trim models, where the hardware is present but deactivated. Similarly, many GM and Ford vehicles include remote start hardware across all trim levels, with the feature activated only on premium models through software configuration. Programming tools allow you to enable these capabilities without subscribing to the manufacturer's connected services. A viewer with a 2021 Volkswagen Tiguan discovered that his vehicle contained all the necessary hardware for the premium LED lighting system, despite purchasing a lower trim model. The dealership wanted $200 to upgrade to this feature, but using VCDS software and an appropriate interface, $99 total, he activated the feature himself through software coding, gaining the premium lighting capability without the premium price tag. Secret number 9 exposes the most financially impactful programming capability that dealerships desperately try to keep hidden: the ability to program replacement modules without paying their exorbitant initialization fees. When control modules fail and require replacement, dealerships typically charge $500 and $1,500 just to program the new component to work with your vehicle, in addition to the cost of the module itself. What they don't reveal is that most replacement modules can be programmed using consumer-grade equipment and publicly available software at a fraction of the cost. This applies to critical components like engine control modules, transmission control modules, body control modules, and more. The process generally involves connecting your programming interface to both the vehicle and your computer, accessing the appropriate software, and following a guided procedure to initialize the new module. While the specific steps vary by manufacturer and component, most modern tools provide step-by-step instructions that make the process accessible even to those with limited technical experience. For many modules, you can extract the configuration data from your original unit before replacement, then transfer those exact settings to the new component, preserving all your vehicle's customizations and adaptations. This process, often called module cloning, ensures seamless operation after the replacement without the need for extensive reprogramming. The savings in this area can be substantial. A typical engine control module replacement at a dealership costs between $1,500 and $3,000, with programming fees accounting for $500, $1,000 of that total. By sourcing a quality replacement module, often available from reputable salvage yards for $200 to $300, and programming it yourself, you can save $1,000, $2,000 on a single repair. A subscriber with a 2017 Chevrolet Malibu needed to replace a failed body control module. The dealership quoted $1,750 for the module and programming. By purchasing a used module from a salvage yard, $180, and programming it himself using a J2534 interface and GM software, $140 total, he completed the repair for just $320, saving over $1,400 and getting back on the road days sooner than the dealership's schedule would allow. Before I reveal the most powerful secret that dealerships absolutely do not want you to discover, I need to address an important legal point. You might have heard that performing your own vehicle programming will void your warranty. This is completely false. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act specifically protects consumers' right to perform their own maintenance and repairs without affecting manufacturer warranties. Unless a manufacturer can prove that your specific programming action directly caused a failure, they cannot deny warranty coverage. This federal law has protected consumers since 1975 and applies to all vehicle programming operations when performed properly. You have the legal right to access and modify your vehicle's software systems for maintenance and repair purposes. Now for the most valuable secret, one that service advisors are explicitly trained never to mention to customers. The ultimate programming capability that puts nearly unlimited control in your hands is accessing your vehicle's security-locked diagnostic functions through direct programming. Every modern vehicle contains comprehensive self-diagnostic and testing capabilities that are intentionally hidden from consumers behind security gateways. These functions allow complete testing and calibration of virtually every system in your vehicle, from advanced driver assistance features to comfort systems to powertrain components. Using specialized interfaces like the Autel MaxiSys Launch X431 or similar professional-grade tools, which still cost less than 3 to 4 dealer visits at $1,000 to $2,000, you can access these secured systems and perform dealer-level diagnostics and programming across all vehicle modules. These tools provide bidirectional control capabilities, meaning you can not only read information from sensors and modules, but also command them to perform specific functions for testing and calibration. This level of access is what dealerships rely on for their most expensive diagnostic and programming services, typically charging $150 to $300 per hour. For example, you can perform complete transmission adaptation procedures, calibrate advanced driver assistance systems after windshield replacement, program new keys and remote fobs, configure comfort and convenience features, and even perform complete module initializations after replacement, all capabilities that dealerships charge premium rates to access. A viewer with a 2020 Toyota RAV4 needed a complete recalibration of the vehicle's safety systems after windshield replacement. The dealership quoted $1,200 for this specialized service. After investing in a quality diagnostic system, $1,700, he performed the calibration himself, following the guided procedure provided by the tool. While this was a significant investment, the tool paid for itself on the first use and will continue to provide savings on future diagnostic and programming needs across all his family's vehicles. The reality is that almost every programming service offered by dealerships can now be performed at home using consumer-available tools and software. From simple module coding to complex system calibrations, these capabilities are no longer exclusive to authorized service centers, despite their continued claims to the contrary. These 9 secrets represent just the beginning of what's possible when you take control of your vehicle's electronic systems. By investing in quality programming tools and developing a basic understanding of your vehicle's computer architecture, you can save thousands in unnecessary service fees while gaining a deeper connection with your vehicle. If this video has helped you understand the truth about vehicle programming, hit that like button to help others find this information. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because next week I'm exposing how dealerships manipulate your vehicle's onboard diagnostics to generate unnecessary service recommendations, a video that could save you thousands in unnecessary repairs. And if you know someone who owns a modern vehicle, especially one still under warranty, share this video with them immediately. You might save them thousands in dealer programming fees for services they could easily perform themselves. In the comments below, let me know which programming secret surprised you the most, or if you have questions about specific programming tasks for your vehicle model. Your experience could help other viewers avoid expensive dealer services. Thank you for watching all the way through, and I'll see you in the next video where we continue exposing the secrets that the automotive industry would prefer stayed hidden. Until then, keep your diagnostic tools connected and your wallet a little fuller.